guys, it's MadameWario. Welcome back to more Mario Party 5. We are in minigame mode today, starting with Minigame Battle. But before I get into explaining things, because this video is going to be very informative and not so much about, not so much just talking about other stuff, but really just information about what's going on. I wanted to do this in like different episodes as I had planned before, but of course my plans completely changed and failed. So it ended up being where I took everything in minigame mode and compiled it into one video, so it's all edited down and it should go by a lot faster and get everything explained in the process. I did this because none of the events in minigame mode were really that interesting. Like, they weren't interesting enough on their own to have all these different videos of just watching minigames over and over again that we've seen already. So that's why I decided to do this. This is post-commentary, by the way, and it is for that reason. So I just thought it'll be way easier to put entire minigame mode into one video, even if it is almost 24 minutes long, and just get it all out of the way without, having to see so many things we've already seen that it's not even interesting anymore. So that's why I'm doing it this way. And now I'll kind of talk about this, though. I'm just showing off the first and last minigame of each mode. So obviously this is Minigame Battle, which is basically just a minigame feature where you set either 3, 5, or 7 wins, and you play minigames until somebody has reached that number of wins, or the set number of wins. For this I set it at 3 just to keep things short and sweet. And yeah, so whoever, gets 3 wins first wins the battle, I guess. So really, as you can probably see by the explanation I just gave, it's not an extremely interesting piece from the game. There was something like this in Mario Party 7 that we saw, and it's just like, I wouldn't need to show all these minigames because we have seen all of them. I wouldn't need to show it again. So, anyway, yeah, that's how Minigame Battle works. The only reason you would use this, again, is probably to get more familiar with the minigames if you're just starting out the game. Or if you haven't played the game very much, like this would be something that was good to use. My only problem with it is, again, it's not that interesting, it's not that, strategic, really. It's just like, play these until someone wins. So, I don't know. It's not my favorite feature, and I don't really... I think they should have just kept this more like with free play like they did in Mario Party 1, but oh well. Things are bound to change as the Mario Party series progresses on. So yeah. But I actually did manage to win this, which was nice. So I was very happy about that. And I love that rainbow tornado. That is so cute. I want a rainbow tornado. There'd be all kinds of gold up in that. Which I guess is the point of the trophy. Whatever. Alright, so that's Minigame Battle. Moving on, we have probably my favorite minigame feature in the entirety of Minigame Mode, which is Minigame Circuit. This was set up most uniquely, I feel like. I really do like this a lot. I like the setup of this. I like how it's an actual little game instead of just, play these minigames and see who wins the most. So anyway, you all start out in your own little car, and the point of the game is to get back to the starting line, or by that point the finish line, first. So it's like a little race, and in order to move on the track you have to win the said minigame that you are about to play. So it's just like a roulette, like in a Mario Party board. You play a minigame, and then if you win you get to move. Now there's a catch because you get 3 capsules. You get 2 mushroom capsules and 1 gold mushroom capsule. And say the minigame is chosen like right now, and you're like, oh, I'm really good at this. Then you can use a capsule, so if you win, you get to roll more than 1 die. So like for this, I decided to be a daredevil and use a golden mushroom capsule so I get to roll 3 die if I won curvy curves. So, yeah, that's just the gist of the game. Because again, it is a race. You're just seeing who can get to the end first by winning minigames and using capsules to help you strategize. So there is a strategy effect to this. Like, you can use strategy, which I also like. There's not just one way to play this, really. And, you know, you can either be really good or cut your own throat. I love how I have candy in the trunk there. I got all this junk in my trunk. But anyway, I love this minigame. It's just like Candyland. It is so cute. Shy Guy with a fork, too. How cute is that? A fork and a cheesecake. I think I played this earlier on in this playthrough, and I like didn't hit a wall once. But actually when I used my golden mushroom, I forgot it was this minigame. Like, I didn't realize that, and then I got into it and was like, I'm really good at this, and of course I hit a bunch of walls, but luckily I still won, so that was good. But yeah. So, because I won that minigame, and I used a golden mushroom capsule before the minigame started because I knew, or I wanted to be courageous, I guess, I got to roll 3 die and move 19 spaces, or what was that, 18 spaces, I don't know. I just saw a number, just flashed. Maybe it was 18. Maybe I'm crazy. So anyway, we skipped to the last turn, where Mario was still at the starting line. Yeah, Mario sucked at this. It was kind of funny. And yeah, he still had 2 capsules by the end too, because he used 1 and still lost. And of course, I used one of my capsules, which, or I used one of my mushroom capsules, and it benefited from it, but then the other one yeah, it was a minigame I actually was really bad at. They thought it was a different one, so I didn't get to move at all with that one, so I kind of wasted it, but oh well. So fun facts of things you missed, the deleted scenes that are only in my memory. Okay, so anyway, remember when I said that I was like a beast at this minigame, and then I failed to prove it ever? It was just horrible every single time I played it, and I lost immediately. Not today. Not today. Okay, this is what I'm talking about with my strategy. I finally worked it. I swear. And these computer players are on hard, so I was not kidding. I can actually play this. Because I really do like this minigame. It's like the whole slot car derby thing. Remember how in Mario Party 1 I said I was horrible at that, and then I won it every single time, and I was like, if I were playing this in real life, I would never win this. Well, it's the exact opposite for this minigame. Maybe because this is post, I did better at it. Maybe that's it. But I was finally able to prove that I can play that minigame. And if to no one else, to myself. So, yeah. And then I reached the goal! Goal! And Mario got a whopping 2, which is all he ever moved in the board, because his life sucks. Toad got a 1, and Yoshi failed completely. Wasn't that thrilling? Okay, so yeah, that's, oh, confetti! I love when you get confetti when you win. So anyway, that is Minigame Circuit. Again, it's probably my favorite out of all the features in minigame mode. Next is Minigame Decathon, which is like Minigame... It has the same idea as Minigame Stadium, but it's really not like Minigame Stadium, from previous games. Basically, you're given a random minigame that you have to play, which this just happened to be the first one. And there are 10 minigames total, and whoever has the most points by the end of all the minigames wins. So instead of like in Minigame Stadium where you're actually moving around a board, determining what kind of minigame, it's not really, you don't determine it at all, it's just chosen for you. And then after 10, whoever has the most points instead of the most coins wins. So like if you get second or third, you still get points, so you could still win more easily. It's more of like a Mario Kart setup, like, oh, you got second or third, you still get points. Or I guess you could say a battle game setup, except, you know, third place gets points too. So, yeah, instead of coins, they used a point system and no board. It's just, you're just standing there watching basically watching a billboard change minigames. Which we got a lot of repeats in this, so I was kind of glad that I didn't show all of this off. Because it would have just been like, kind of a waste of time. I mean, just to show so many minigames repeated. Especially, they were all like minigames we've seen a lot too already, kind of like the last one. I feel excited about the next one! That's what Toad said. That's what she said. So anyway, we skip down to the last minigame, which was this jump game that I am now actually good at. I was so ready for it to be different buttons every time before, and then, you know, thanks to you lovely viewers in the comments, as well as curing my own kind of weirdness, I realized it's just ABA. So yes, thank you to all who have pointed that out. I think it was like a few boards ago I actually managed to get decent at this. I really thought it changed every time though, so I was so ready for it to be like Y, R, X, and it just wasn't ever, so I was always ready to mess up, which is what I did, so I can actually play this now. I'm good at it. I set a new record, so I was happy. I actually didn't, I don't think I set a new record with this one, but I did on one before that, because I played that, I think in Minigame Decathon. Or no, not Minigame, that's what we're on now. I played it in Minigame Circuit. And the winner was Mario. Which Mario was pretty much winning the entire time, so, you know, that's just how that happened. I ended up getting third. I guess Toad and I were fairly close, but Mario I wasn't really close to at all. So, yeah, and if you can't tell, Yoshi was kind of unfired when he was brought back for the card tournament or whatever it was. But anyway, that's Minigame Decathon. It's still illegal for him to do any of this stuff, though. Especially this. Like, dinosaurs don't play on the computer. Like, it's a legal issue. So anyway, this is Minigame Wars, probably the longest possible part of minigame mode, or function of minigame mode. I like the design of it and everything, but it's really not extremely unique. Basically, you play a random minigame, and if you win, you get to fill in one of those little tiles with your color. And by the time the entire board or map or all the tiles are filled up with a color, whoever has the most wins. So, you know, whose ever color takes over most of the board wins, which is pretty, you know, just basic, not that exciting. And I totally beasted that minigame magically. I don't know why, because I usually don't have luck with things like that, like with Super Mario Bros. 2. But anyway, like, because I won, I get to pick a flashing tile and fill it in with my color. And there's different things that can happen, like if you place certain ones next to each other, you can turn somebody else's color into yours and all this stuff, so there is a little strategy to it, but I actually didn't finish this. Yep, no contest, no one ever wins. So we're gonna move on because it would just take way too long. I had it going for like half an hour and I was like, this is not ending. We're done with this. So let's move on to Minigame Tournament. This is the all-dual portion of Minigame mode. And we saw this when I played Mario Party 7. It is exactly like that. Basically, you're on a bracket system. And you start out in two different teams. Each team plays and sees who the winner is. Then the two losers play against each other, see who the loser is. And then the two winners play against each other and see who the winner is, which will make more sense in a second. And that was about the dumbest move I've done in this entire game. I did not see that there, and I totally just ran into it and looked like an idiot. So, it was a lot of fun. So I was immediately pegged as a loser, so I didn't have to walk the plank, I just fell off. So anyway, I went down on the bracket to the loser side. I actually showed all of this off, by the way. I showed off this whole thing because I feel like we haven't seen dual minigames as much, even though we have seen quite a few of them, I think. I don't know. There are quite a few of them recently. Have we seen as many of these? I don't know. I feel like we've seen a lot of these, but maybe I'm just crazy. Because I feel like I've sucked at a lot of them. Because so many of them are luck-based like that. Even though there is a bit of strategy, it's still kind of luck-based. So anyway, Mario was also pegged as a loser. So to determine the spots, next, Mario and I will have to go head-to-head. So basically, it's just like a strategy system. It's short, it's not long, it's just 4 dual minigames total too, and all the dual minigames are short. So, I would say where you'd benefit from this most would be if you're about to do solo mode, like on another difficulty level. Like, I just completed it on easy to do it really fast, but, like if I wanted to prepare for hard difficulty, then you know, this would be a good idea to play all these dual minigames with hard computer players, like I'm doing right now. And I immediately failed because I had my finger on the Y button. I was so positive it would be a button I didn't know how to press when the time came, and it wasn't. It was a B button, and I was so mad. I was like, come on, why do I have to suck at this? So anyway, because it is so short, I showed off the whole thing. And yes, this one is more fun because it's kind of fun to watch the bracket system form, or to fall off the bracket like I just did. So yeah, it would be a really good idea though to play this if you're about to do story mode or solo mode or whatever the heck it is. Let's get the names mixed up because they're different in like every single Mario Party game. One will be solo mode, the next will be story mode. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And I really wish I would have gotten this minigame, because then I would have won, because I can button mash. I'm a professional button masher. Oh gosh. So, Toad is declared the overall winner, because it's illegal for a dinosaur to be standing on the edge of the poop deck. I really don't know what that means. I'm just making lingo up for the heck of it. Alrighty, so that is Minigame Tournament, and that concludes pretty much every single function of Minigame mode, except for what we are about to see, which is Free Play mode, which has every single minigame in it. You can play whatever you want, just like in every Mario Party game. We've seen all of these. I went through and looked, and we have seen all of these. It's been a fun run of all of them. So, well, actually, there is only one we haven't seen, and it's this. It's this DK minigame. So I really do apologize for that, because I really wanted to show everything off. But because we, like, never got DK ever, and it's such a chancy thing going into it, like, playing, I don't know how many boards it would take to unlock it, so maybe if I have another encore or something, I'll show off that DK minigame, because I really have no idea how many boards I would have to play to unlock it. So anyway, we're going to play the one minigame we haven't seen, which is Frightmare, which occurs at the end of solo mode. This is the Bowser boss battle of sorts. I have to say it is unique how they designed this, but it is rather long. It's pretty lengthy, and I didn't know that going into it, so I was getting kind of frustrated, like, oh my god, what am I doing? So basically, it has 4 stages. You start off with all the Mecha Koopas, and you have to destroy all of them by either jumping on them or throwing them, but you cannot jump on them while they're hot and spewing lava, or fire, or whatever you want to call it. Because I just played Bowser on normal, like I don't know why I did, but I just kind of clicked normal instead of hard difficulty. I'm not 100% sure if this makes a difference, but you start out with 10 hearts in normal mode. It might be less in hard mode, I'm not 100% 100% sure. So I apologize for that. But basically all the minigames are exactly the same, so I think it just kind of determines your hearts if you do it on a different difficulty level or difficulty setting. So anyway, the second stage is jumping through these rings of fire, which I was much better at. I actually goofed up a couple times here and was like, God, what is wrong with me? Like, I didn't jump right there, and I should have, and then I thought it was going to end, and then I was wrong watching the clock. And then I tried to run away from it and it got me again, so I was just really mad by this point. I was like, what? That does not happen! So, third stage, Bowser jumps. I don't know where he just came from. How did he punch a screen and then he jumps from nowhere? Anyway, when he jumps on the floor, he makes a weak spot, like you could just see. You'll want to go back to that weak spot and have him jump on it. That's the easiest thing to do, because after he jumps on a spot 3 times, making it weak, he will fall through the floor, which is how you defeat that. And sometimes he'll charge at you or spew fire breath, but if he doesn't, then that is the easiest way to go about it. I just kind of got lucky that he didn't do either of those things and he just jumped. So you'll want to stand on a weak spot or a particular spot you find easy to run back to until he jumps on it 3 times. So he pulled an Alice in Wonderland, he grew huge, and he fell through the floor. Now it's the final segment of this. You have to hit him 3 times. He throws 2 to 3 of those little lava balls at you, and then he spews fire. Which I forgot how to pick up the stupid little ball at first. He will always throw that thing next, and then you throw that at his face. So basically what you're going to want to do, which again, I goofed up on this too, and I shouldn't have. You'll just kind of run in a line to get away from those, and then if you aren't stupid like me and actually run out of the way of where you were just standing when he spews the fire breath, you should be fine, and he'll activate, like, your weapon of sorts. So, yeah, this is a much better example. So you just kind of stay out of the way, you run over, pick one up, stand in the center and wait for him to throw this, and then jump over that ring, go up to that little round spot, and jump up and throw that. Don't do what I just did, because it's so frustrating when you drop it. You're like, what am I doing? I shouldn't have dropped that, I should have thrown it. So I was kind of angry at this point with that. And yeah, once you hit him 5 times, you'll be good to go. If you just follow that strategy, it is fairly simple to do this. It's not like a really, really difficult thing. Just make sure you run out of the way fast enough, unlike me, because he pretty much picks your spot about 3 seconds before he starts spewing the fire breath. So if you just stand in the corner like where you weren't before, you'll be fine. And of course, I got nervous because I had 1 heart left and I lost, which I really didn't want to do. But anyway, without fail, you would normally see the credits and beat that game. But that is minigame mode, and next video will be the final video. So thank you for joining me.